Beneath the town of Mercer, Ohio is an experimental physics laboratory locals also know as the Loop. The lab's purpose is to unlock and explore the mysteries of the universe. All of the town's residents are connected to the Loop in unique ways, whether they are aware of it or not. On a cold winter morning, the employees of the Loop trudge in the snow toward the entrance of the underground facility. In the local middle school, Loretta is transfixed on the 3 cement towers located just outside the classroom window. The teacher calls on her name to get her focus back on the math test in front of her. Later that day, Loretta stands on a pier and skips rocks in the frozen lake. In the middle of the lake is an electronic metal structure with a weather vane type attachment on top. When she grows bored of skipping rocks, Loretta sits on the edge of the pier. Suddenly, she sees the rocks beside her start to rattle. She lies down on her stomach and places her ear next to the wooden boards of the pier. She feels the vibration of a steady thumping sound coming from beneath the ground. Moments later, Loretta goes home and catches water droplets in her mouth coming from the icicles on the roof. She hears a noise behind her and sees a bipedal robot hiding behind the trees and looking at her. She gives the robot an indifferent glance and proceeds inside the house. Inside the house, Loretta overhears a man and Alma, her mother, having an argument. The man tells Alma to return the piece of the eclipse she stole, but she denies having done anything. He believes Alma is putting her daughter in danger, but Alma says her daughter can take care of herself. Alma asks the man to leave the house and he repeats his plea for her to put back what she stole. The man leaves and Alma kicks a side table out of frustration. The mother hears the floor creak and calls out her daughter's name, but Loretta runs out the door. That evening, Loretta hears Alma singing a song in a foreign language and follows her voice into the open door of the bathroom. Loretta sees Alma in the bathtub and continues to listen to her singing by the door. That night, while playing chess, Alma wets her finger and runs it around the rim of her glass, making it sing. Loretta watches her and gives her a smile before asking why the man was mad at her. Alma admits she took something and Loretta reminds her that she taught her daughter to never steal. Alma believes she didn't steal it, but obtained it. Loretta asks if she'll give it back and her mother says she will, but only after an experiment. After a few seconds, Loretta asks her mother if she can help with the experiment, but Alma says it's too dangerous. The girl asks if the object her mother obtained was from underground and Alma nods. Loretta asks what Alma does at the Loop, and Alma says she wouldn't understand. Loretta tells Alma that she'd love to work with her at the Loop one day. Her mother asks why she'd want to work there if she doesn't even know what she'd be doing, and Loretta says all that matters is that they'll be together. Alma gives her daughter a somber smile and they continue playing chess. Later that night, Loretta jumps and dances around her room to the music from her record player. All of a sudden, the music distorts and all the power in the house shuts off. Loretta hears a noise coming from downstairs and follows it to Alma's office. She sees her mother sitting at the table working on an object emanating a bright white glow. Loretta hears a snippet from their conversation from earlier that night, which ends just as the object in front of Alma stops glowing. A few seconds later, the glass windows next to Alma's desk break, startling Loretta as she runs back to her room. Later on, Loretta wakes up in the middle of the night and sees a hole in the glass window of her room. The next day, Loretta prepares a thermos and walks to Alma's office door. She presses her ear to the door, but doesn't check on her mother and leaves. Outside the house, Loretta drags the trash can to the sidewalk for garbage pickup. In school, Loretta gets her math test back, receiving an A. The teacher tells Loretta that her mother will be proud. Later that day, Loretta waits for Alma outside the Loop entrance. As the last of the employees leave the building, Loretta doesn't see her mother and decides to head home. From the street, Loretta drags the trash can back toward the house. She gets confused when all she sees is a snowy plot of land where the house should be. She sees a large yellow truck pass by while looking around, bewildered. She runs to the spot where her house once was, and around it is a circle of tracks. In the center of the circle, she finds a black geometric rock and picks it up. Loretta touches the snow and remembers her mother, so she worriedly shouts her mother's name. She places the rock in her pocket and follows the sound coming from the woods, thinking it might be Alma. In the woods, Loretta sees Cole throwing rocks on the robot and tells him to stop. The boy reasons that it's only a robot, but Loretta has already continued searching for Alma. Cole follows Loretta, and as the two kids walk away, the robot turns its head to look at them. While walking through the woods, Cole asks Loretta what she's doing and if he can help, but she declines. They reach a wood cabin, and Cole tells Loretta not to go in because it's haunted, but she goes in anyway. Inside the cabin, the two kids see a pile of snow below a large hole in the roof. Instead of the snow falling into the cabin, the snow from the floor is floating back up into the sky. Loretta sticks her hand into the levitating snow's path and imagines imagines her house disappearing similarly, piece by piece into the sky. Loretta tells Cole she's looking for her mother and he offers to help her. They return to where Loretta's house once was, and Cole says he's never seen a house there before. He mentions that his parents work at the Loop as well, and suggests they ask them where Loretta's mother could be. At Cole's house, he hears his mother having a conversation with his grandfather, Russ, the Loop's founder. Cole tries to get his mother's attention, but she firmly reminds him that the adults are still talking, so Cole leaves the room. As Cole and Loretta go up to his room, she sees Cole's father, George, attaching his robotic arm. Inside the bedroom, Cole introduces Loretta to his older brother, Jacob. Cole tells Jacob that Loretta's mother is missing. Jacob tells her about how when a star dies, it doesn't always become a supernova. Sometimes stars just disappear in a snap and all they leave is their phantom with a gravitational pull, or a black hole. Loretta has a worried look on her face and she walks to the front door to leave. She shows Cole the black rock and tells him Alma took it from the underground. She hands it over to Cole and tells him to be careful while handling it. Cole lets go of the rock mid-air, and it suddenly starts to float on its own. Later that day, Cole tells Loretta his father takes his arm off at night and plugs it in the wall. He asks Loretta why she doesn't call Alma Mom, and she explains that Alma doesn't like it. He says that his mother is the same way and that he thinks she doesn't want to be a mother. Loretta corrects him and says that she never said that about Alma. He assures Loretta that they'll find her mother and tells her to think about where she thinks Alma would be right now. Then, the girl says Alma would have been at home. In Cole's house, his mother touches the contents of a wooden box. She quickly closes the box when George enters the room to tell her not to work too late. At the lake pier, Loretta tells Cole to press his ear down on the wooden planks and listen to the thumping from beneath the ground. Loretta thinks the rock she found has something to do with whatever is happening down in the loop. Moments later, they make their way to the loop and ask the security guard, Gaddis, about Alma. Gaddis makes a phone call and relays the information to them that no one named Alma works for the loop. Loretta is upset and storms off, and Cole runs after her. At Cole's house, his mother receives a call from Gaddis. The guard tells her about the girl Cole was with, who said she was looking for her mother, Alma. Cole's mother has a stunned look on her face as she hangs up the phone. She sits down on the floor with a distant, faraway look in her eyes. In town, Loretta enters the local bar, searching for Alma. She hears the door open behind her and turns around. She excitedly shouts Alma's name and runs to hug a woman. When they separate from the embrace, it's revealed that Loretta hugged Cole's mother. Loretta realizes the woman isn't Alma and runs out of the bar. Cole's mother stands in quiet shock in the middle of the bar before leaving, but Loretta is nowhere to be found. Later, Loretta expresses her regret for not checking on her mother that morning. Had she stayed at home today, she and Alma would still be together. She takes the rock from her pocket and throws it away. Cole walks over to the floating rock and retrieves it for her. She tells Cole that if she ever has a child, she would never do this and always be there for them. Back in Cole's house, Loretta wanders into the study room. She opens the wooden box and finds a piece of paper. She unfolds it, then takes out her math test from her pocket and lays the two pieces of paper side by side. Loretta sees that they are the exact same math tests, except one has weathered over time. Cole enters the room and tells her that the paper belongs to his mother. Shocked, Loretta asks him what his mother's name is. Meanwhile, Cole's mother returns to the spot of the house that disappeared. George arrives, and she tells him that it really happened and wasn't just a dream. She tells George that the girl Cole brought home is her younger self. Loretta runs back to the wood cabin where she starts a fire and falls asleep. She dreams of Alma running her finger on the rim of the glass and a woman's hand about to grab a chess piece, but the piece moves away. Loretta awakens in the dark and hears noises coming from the roof. Back in Cole's house, adult Loretta and George arrive and she asks Cole where the girl is. Cole tells her that she was in the study room but ran off. Loretta goes to the study room and sees the old math test on the table, so she grabs a flashlight and proceeds to the wood cabin. Outside the wood cabin, adult Loretta sees her younger self in front of the fire, singing the same song her mother sang. She opens the door, and the two Lorettas look at each other. Adult Loretta asks young Loretta if she knows who she is, and young Loretta says that she does. The girl asks if Alma ever comes back, and the woman shakes her head. The girl picks up a glass jar and tosses it at the wall as she screams. Adult Loretta kneels on the floor and tells young Loretta that Alma was conducting an experiment. She adds that the girl will spend years learning science to try and understand what happened, but she'll never get the answer she's looking for. She tells the girl that not everything in life makes sense. A few seconds later, the girl asks if they really are the same person and touches the woman's nose. The woman tells the girl that she won't always be alone and that she'll have a family. The girl asks about Alma, and the woman thinks Alma never wanted to be a mother. The girl tells the woman that Cole said the same thing about her. The girl shows the woman the black rock and wishes to see where it came from. Later that evening, adult Loretta takes young Loretta down to the loop. They enter an expansive room with a rotating black sphere in the middle. Adult Loretta tells the girl that the sphere is the eclipse, the beating heart of the loop. The eclipse is responsible for the girl being there now, as well as everything strange that happens above ground. Young Loretta takes the rock out of her pocket, and adult Loretta tells her that Alma took it for an experiment to find the eclipse's origin. The woman tells her that she'll wonder if all this really happened or if it was just a dream. She adds that years from now, young Loretta will hear about a girl looking for her mother and everything will slowly come back to her. Seconds later, young Loretta lets the black rock go, and it floats back onto the eclipse. The girl touches the sphere, and soon finds herself back in the spot where the house once stood. Back in the loop, Russ joins Loretta and she asks if they can talk about what happened tomorrow. He gives her a nod and closes the heavy door after they leave the room. Back in Cole's house, Cole goes downstairs and finds young Loretta sitting in the dining room. Confused, he turns on the lights and sees his mother there. She tells him about how her mother left when she was just Cole's age. She promises she'll always be there for him and gives him a hug.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.